At age 75, Avraham Avinu picks up and goes to somewhere he knows no destination to. Until finally God brings him to the land of Canaan, tells him this will be the land that you will have your blessings, that you will have your descendants, and this will be yours. Passes over 10 years, and Avraham is now 86. Now, what was one of the 3 things God promised Avraham is that he would have children. He finds himself over 10 years after escaping home, going to an unknown destination, and he still has no children. Can you imagine how much faith do you have to pick up and go somewhere you don't know where you're going, be promised something and it didn't come true yet? 1 year, 2 years, 5, 10, this is 11 years now. He's 86 years old, he still has no children. He has no descendants. He has no one to give everything God's promising him to. So what does he do? He has his wife. His wife Sarah sees that Avraham is getting older. It's kind of now or never. So what does she do? She takes Hagar, her maidservant, and says, take her, have a child with her. I want to read the verse. The verse says, Vatomer Sarai el Avram. Sarai tells Avram, Hinenat Sarani Hashem miledet. Hashem is withholding us from having children. Bona el shifhati. Come and take my maidservant. Ulai ibane mimena. Maybe you will be able to build a family through her. Vaishmash Avram lekol Sarai. And like every good husband should do, Avram listens to his wife, Sarah. So what happens? Avram and Hagar get together. She gets pregnant right away. What was Sarah's intention? What was she doing by giving her maidservant to her husband? So some want to say something interesting. You know what her real intention was? Her real intention was, give Hagar to Avram in order to have children. So what will Sarah do? She will pray that Hagar gets pregnant. And the Gemara says, anyone who prays for someone genuinely will be answered first. So Sarah said, you know what? I'll give Hagar, pray for Hagar to have a baby, and I'll have a baby first. But why didn't that happen? The Zera Shimshon asks. The Zera Shimshon asks, I don't see anywhere in the Torah Sarah praying for Hagar. So how can you claim that? And if she did, well then why didn't she get pregnant first? Hagar got pregnant 13 years before Sarah got pregnant. What's going on? So listen to what the Zera Shimshon answers. You know what? Hagar really had the intention to pray for, Sarah had the intention to pray for Hagar. But it happened too fast. As soon as Avram and Hagar got together, she got pregnant right away. She never had the opportunity to pray for Hagar. And what happened? On the contrary, she felt animosity. She felt anger. How could she get pregnant before me? Now the Zera Shimshon goes deeper. He says, she didn't think she was the problem. Although we know that she was the problem. She had no womb. She had no ovaries. She was not physically capable of getting pregnant. Until finally, when she was 90 years old, on Rosh Hashanah, when she got pregnant with Yitzhak, HaKadosh Baruch Hu made a tremendous miracle and gave her the body parts in her innards to bear a baby and to carry it for only 6 months. This was Yitzhak's pregnancy. Now, so what did she think? She thinks, I'm not the problem. Avram is the problem. You know why? Because Avram did not pray for me. Avram prayed for himself. This is what she's thinking. Avram prayed for himself, and therefore he got answered right away with Hagar. And she comes to Avram and says, how could you not pray for me? And Avram says, I did. And then Sarah answers, let God judge between you and I. She said, I don't know if you're telling the truth. Look, even Abraham had issues with his wife. So don't think you're greater. Sarah came, and I'll quote to you, the pasuk says, Yishpot Adonai beni ubencha. Let God judge between the two of us. Sarah said, I never will know if you are saying the truth or if you really had the intention to pray for me or to pray for you. And she came down hard on Avram. And then it took another 13 years for them to actually have Yitzhak. So to answer the Zera Shimshon's question, was she really intending to pray? She was. But everything happened too fast. We see the relationship between Sarah and Hagar to be one of animosity. They were nemesis to one another. One got pregnant right away. The other waited decades. She was married decades to Abraham until she had a boy, until she had a child even. She gets pregnant, Hagar. What does Sarah do? Kicks her out. So the opposite, sorry. She gets pregnant, and what does Sarah do? She makes life hard for her. She makes her work harder. Because she was not happy. How could I be let down? And Hagar ran away. She ran away. She was almost dying. An angel of God came to her and said, go back. You're holding a son in your stomach. Name him Ishmael, because God has listened to you. Yishma Kel. And then she comes back. The baby's born. Yitzhak is born later. Ishmael is a bad influence to Yitzhak. She comes complaining to Avram. Avram, your maidservant's son is a bad influence on our holy son. Avram says, do what you want with her. And you know what she does? She tells her to leave. Again, when she's in the desert, an angel comes and shows her son and her a well before they die of thirst and promises them that they will be blessed. And so it was. And this is how the Ishmaelim came about. But there's one more thing I wanted to add with this interesting relationship. This is something the Midrash uncovers for us. Who was Hagar? Hagar, the Midrash says, was the princess of Egypt, Paro's own daughter. When? Oh, well, if we remember, as soon as Abraham and Sarah get to Israel, it's a famine. Pretty odd, right? Maybe not. Then they go to Egypt. In Egypt, they had that whole scoundrel with Sarah. Paro wanted to take her as a wife. Then everyone got sick. They understood that Avram and Sarah were holy people, special people. They gave them gifts. Paro on his own decided, I want to give my daughter, who was Hagar, to Abraham and Sarah as a maidservant. He said, it's more worthy, more noble and honorable for the princess of Egypt to be a slave to these people rather than being a princess of this country of Egypt. To show how Avraham Avinu was known amongst the nations, was known to the world for his perseverance, for his belief and trust and unwavering faith in God. To the point where Paro said, I want my daughter to be your slave. May Kadosh Baruch Hu bless us, that us as Bnei Israel, as the chosen people, we will have that strong belief and faith and commitment to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that not only amongst ourselves, amongst Yehudim, it will be known, but we shall be a light unto the nations, which will bring Mashiach as quick as possible in its most proper time. Amen. Amen.